Rain fell like shattered glass against the windshield, blurring the lonely highway under the storm's fury. Thomas gripped the steering wheel tighter, his wipers fighting a losing battle. It was late past midnight and he was just getting off from a double shift at the construction site. His 6-year-old daughter, Lily, had fallen asleep in the back seat, her small arms clutching her worn-out teddy bear. Thomas just wanted to get home, make her some hot chocolate, and forget how empty their lives had felt since his wife passed away 2 years ago. But fate had other plans that night, plans that would change everything. As his truck crawled through the sheets of rain, his headlights cut through the darkness, and that's when he saw them. A woman and a little boy, drenched and shivering on the side of the road, surrounded by a few bags that looked hastily packed. A broken umbrella lay beside them. The woman was trying to shield her child with her coat while pleading with the driver of a car that had just sped away, leaving them standing there helplessly. The image hit Thomas hard, like a punch straight to his chest. He pressed the brakes. For a second, he hesitated. Maybe it wasn't his place. Maybe it was dangerous. But then the boy started crying, and that sound tore through him. He threw the truck into park and stepped out into the storm. "Hey! You okay?" he shouted over the wind. The woman looked up, her face pale and wet. "Please, we have nowhere to go," she said, her voice trembling. "He threw us out, my husband, ex-husband, he said he never wanted to see us again." The child clung tighter to her leg, sobbing quietly. Thomas looked at them, then back at his sleeping daughter in the truck. He didn't think twice. "Get in," he said. "You'll freeze out here." The woman hesitated, fear flashing in her eyes, but one look at her son and she nodded. "Thank you," she whispered. They climbed into the truck, dripping water all over the seats. The boy, maybe 5 years old, wrapped in his mother's coat, looked up at Thomas with wide, scared eyes. "It's okay, buddy," Thomas said softly. "You're safe now." The drive was silent, except for the storm and the occasional sniffle from the child. Thomas noticed the woman's hands trembling. "You can call me Thomas," he said gently. "And that's Lily in the back." She offered a weak smile. "I'm Emily. This is Noah." When they reached his small, cozy house, Thomas could see the uncertainty on her face again. "You can stay here tonight," he said firmly. "Guest room's clean. Tomorrow, we'll figure something out." Emily's lips trembled. "I don't want to be a burden." "You're not," he interrupted. "Sometimes people just need a little kindness." That night, while Emily tucked Noah into bed, Thomas made tea for her. They sat at the kitchen table, steam curling between them. He learned she'd left an abusive marriage with nothing but a few clothes and her son's school bag. Her ex had found them at her sister's and thrown them out during the storm. She had nowhere left to go. Thomas listened quietly, his heart heavy. He didn't know why, but something in her story reminded him of his own grief, the nights he'd cried silently so Lily wouldn't hear. In the morning, Lily and Noah were laughing over cereal like they'd known each other forever. For the first time in years, Thomas heard real laughter fill the house. He watched Emily help Lily braid her hair, sunlight catching her wet curls. Something inside him stirred, something warm, something he hadn't felt in a long time. Days turned into a week. Thomas helped Emily find small cleaning jobs around town, while she cooked meals that filled the house with the scent of hope. Lily adored her. And Thomas, well, he couldn't deny he was beginning to. But the fear of losing someone again kept him quiet. Then one evening, Emily got a phone call that shattered her calm. Her ex-husband had found her location and was threatening to take Noah. She sat on the couch, shaking. "I can't lose him," she whispered. Thomas didn't hesitate. "He won't touch either of you," he said firmly. "You're not alone anymore." That night, he called a lawyer he knew through work, a man who had once helped him after his wife's death. By morning, Thomas had arranged legal aid and a protective order for Emily and Noah. She cried when she found out. "Why are you doing all this for us?" she asked. Thomas looked at her, his voice low but steady. "Because someone once saved me when I thought my world had ended. Now it's my turn." Months passed, and life began to heal them. The storm that had brought Emily to his doorstep became the start of something beautiful. The two families blended, two broken pieces finding their way back to wholeness. Lily and Noah became inseparable. Emily started a small baking business from Thomas's kitchen, and laughter became the music of their mornings. One spring evening, as the sun melted into gold outside, Thomas found himself standing beside Emily on the porch. The kids were playing in the yard, chasing bubbles. He looked at her, the wind tugging gently at her hair, and said quietly, "That night in the storm, I thought I was helping you. But the truth is, you saved me too." Emily smiled, tears shining in her eyes. "Maybe we saved each other." And as the sky turned from gold to dusk, Thomas realized that sometimes, the most life-changing moments come disguised as storms. Because love, real love, doesn't wait for the weather to clear. It finds you right in the rain.